John A. Macdonald was born in London, Ontario in 1927. He was better known as Jack. Jack moved to Hamilton in 1942 and joined the Canadian Navy at 16. Following the Second World War, Jack opened his own heating and cooling business, then followed down the path of politics. Jack was the youngest elected official in Canada at the age of 22 and became mayor in his late 40s. Many people gathered at Liuna Station to celebrate the life of former Hamilton Mayor Jack Macdonald. Friends and family had the chance to share some of their favorite memories of Jack, a man who they say loved Hamilton, a good debate, and of course, his family.
For all of his public persona, he was dedicated and committed to his family, and that's something certainly I think is that the work-life balance and making sure that you don't forget about your roots and the family that cares about you in political life. That's very important. So I would say that that's what I admired about him most.
Jack was one of my mentors, has been for as long as I have been in this city. Jack was the guy that you would go to ask advice about anything that had to do with community involvement, anything that had to do with the hospitals or the schools or being involved in the United Way or any of those things. Jack was always a mentor and a go-to guy, and I don't ever recall getting one piece of bad advice in my entire relationship with him all the way back to '72. He is going to sorely be missed by his family, his friends, and certainly by me.
Do you remember the first time you met Jack, or around the first time?
I'll never forget it. It was at the Brownstone Nursing Home that Hamilton East Community Services owned at one time. And I was doing a presentation regarding a new program that we wanted to bring into the community. And I remember Jack very quietly sat at the back of the room, and everybody else sort of just listened to me and did my presentation. And he ended up coming right up to the front of the room, brought me a piece of candy and said, "Relax, it'll be okay, don't worry about it." And I did, I relaxed, it was okay, didn't worry about it, and the program's still in the community today.
Well, Jack always impressed me as a very honest, sincere, forthright visionary. And stick with it, kid, he'd say, stick with it. If there's something you want to do, you believe in it, just stick with it. And don't let the bleep, bleep, bleep get you down.
The night was filled with warm and funny memories of Mayor Jack, including this one from his son.
As a young teenager one summer day, I thought it would be really cool to jump off the sunroom of our house into our pool in the backyard. Mom and Dad were at a civic function, and they arrived home about an hour early than according to my schedule. And as my head broke the surface of the water, I turned and I looked, and my parents were staring at me. And I got the sternest lecture from my mother about responsibility. You could have been killed. What were you thinking? Young man, how irresponsible. My father disappeared. This lecture went on for about a good 5 minutes. 3 minutes into it, I see Dad climbing the drain pipe to go onto the roof. I couldn't make this up. In mid-lecture, I'm looking at Mom, and she is discussing how long I would be grounded for, when all of a sudden, he jumps off the roof with a cannonball, breaks the surface of the water, looks at me and goes, "That was great fun." That's when the lecture ended.
It took Jack Macdonald 3 chances to become the mayor of Hamilton, but when he did, he certainly left a lasting impression. I'm Rachel Nagy, and this is For the Record.